Hey everybody, Brian Von Vier here, aka the Cheese Master 5000. So, I have a very quick, clean, and easy question for all of you. What is the best opening line you've ever given to a boss? The line that made your players chill in fear and despair. The one that made them hype up your big bad evil guy. What was yours?
I am the being born in the heart of a star. I am a martyr of infinite pressure and infinite heat. It is a pleasure, humanity. My name is God Emperor.
Not exactly an opening line, but more of a ploy. My big bad evil guy wizard was holding one of their NPCs hostage and taunts them when they enter. You should have been a little faster. One of the PCs win initiative and rushes in, only to discover that the wizard was an illusion using mislead. The real wizard, now revealed, casts Force Cage, blocking the choke point in the room. Then, the quick PC looks closer and realizes the NPC hostage has already been turned into a Bodak. A step behind again.
Hello, adventurers. Are you all hungry from your journey? I know it's been difficult. Please sit, relax, and enjoy a meal with me. It will, unfortunately, be your last.
Not an opening line, but it was nice and powerful. They're fighting a beholder and he has statues all around. After he charmed the ranger, he hit her with a petrifying ray. The whole table is at the edge of their seats when he said, "Very good. Now, strike a pose."
Your betrayal has disrupted plans centuries in the working. Suffer the pain of 1,000 generations doomed to die.
Then he cast Meteor Swarm on the castle the party was hiding in. The big bad was a lich with basically Voldemort-style fear of death, but he wanted to spread the right to become an immortal undead to the masses. The party actually worked for him for a solid chunk of the campaign before they decided their goals no longer aligned and they decided to murder one of his lieutenants and run away.
I dislike your look.
And cast Disintegrate at 9th level. Oh god, that's terrible.
Damn it, Janet. I told you I'm not in the mood for... who the f*** are you?
I have a Circle of Stars druid player who is also a changeling in one of my campaigns. He's pursuing a path of vengeance against a cult who murdered his father. A Circle of Stars changeling too. Well-known hero who had been carrying on hero duty from his mentor while looking like him. We were in the climax of an arc for a different player as the group had infiltrated a masquerade ball. The group had found the owner of the mansion, who had ties to the aforementioned cult, with a Dark Knight figure in talks with him. As the druid player entered in their starry form, the knight reveals that they were the one who had killed the character's father, stating that he didn't realize the son was still alive. The knight then said my favorite opening line I've given to a villain in a while.
I've already killed your father. You're just another set of stars to extinguish.
As initiative was rolled.
I wish you had run. I really do. Now, I must play the part you insist I play.
2 player deaths and the players being forced to flee set the tone of the rest of the campaign pretty decisively. Nothing so incredibly dramatic, but for the incredibly dumb villain, technically not even the big bad evil guy, I created for one of my meme lord IRL friends' character. For you, the day I destroyed your clan was the worst day of your life. But for me, it was leg day.
I hope you are aware this fight will be for petty reasons only. My forces are already marching to war as we speak. My death will only invigorate them.
You must feel horrible, knowing your friends are about to die and you can do nothing to stop it. I'll tell you what, I'm feeling generous.
I'll give you a chance to kill me right here and now. Vengeance tastes great. I would know. I'm tasting it right now.
Spoken by the big bad after about a 6-month campaign. Players were not the best at helping to keep the peace between two cities. Against my evilish party, with one of them being a vampire that likes to talk big and try to intimidate people. They met a vampire slayer and tried to threaten him before knowing who he was.
Shut up. Dead men don't talk.
Hashtag roll initiative.
Oh, shit!
As he ducked behind his throne and called in wave after glorious wave of minions.
I'll give you the fight of your life, if you promise to do it in return.
9 death saves were rolled that fight. Nobody died, thankfully. I was doing the big, dramatic, big bad evil guy speech, you know, tragic backstory, their twisted goals, you know how it goes. And one of my players just fucking quotes George Bush from Robot Chicken. Boring, let's fight. I was laughing too hard to be mad.
So, this is how I shall spend my afternoon.
Note: this was merely a sub-boss. We've got you surrounded. Give it up. There's nowhere to run to this time.
Failed persuasion check.
The mini-boss turns to the paladin and says,
I admire your tenacity, you know. You chased me all the way here to this place. One question, Paladin, before we start. If you're all the way out here, far, far from your home, who's watching over your daughter?
The paladin stares blankly.
This was never about running. This was about duty, spite even. We needed a virgin for the ritual. You thought we were performing it here, way out here in this desolate place. You have failed. All of you.
Do note, the paladin's daughter was just the most precious NPC, a loving and innocent daughter around marrying age, and very much in love with the party's bard. The wizard saw her as his niece, and the rest of the party genuinely enjoyed interacting with her. Also note, they were supposed to take him alive for questioning and bring him to justice. This made it much more difficult. Half the party wanted to kill him out of anger, which is exactly what happened. The players lost that night. They won the battle, but they lost the night. The line came from one of their allies.
The holy sword Excalibur is the weapon of King Arthur.
To explain, the big bad evil guy of this specific game was King Arthur. The party managed to take down him and his round table. They were constantly told of the holy sword and its abilities, but it was always hinted to be his sword. Well, the fighter, Krev Mulgan, took it and learned it was an intelligent artifact that constantly called him Majesty, and kept whispering instructions to him to further unlock its power. Let's just say it works as one becomes closer to Arthur. But in the final stage, the character's mind is overwritten and Arthur takes over their mind. Krev, now with the full power of Excalibur and the fighter's own abilities under the control of Arthur, becomes a much more deadly and heartbreaking battle for the party to overcome. And that line was given right before he turned on them and escaped to his castle.
Dare you stand by these tales of gods in the face of truth? Dare you still believe, still pray as the void consumes your soul? Darkness is all that remains for you, mortals. I have arrived, and I am infinity.
Do not be afraid. You shall be the effigy of a better, brighter world.
A druid whose home had been destroyed by expanding human colonies. He grew up amongst sequoia trees, which require wildfires to reproduce and can get choked by underbrush if those sand fires don't clear it away. He saw the greed and lust for power of these expanding colonies and decided to do the same thing he would have done in the forest, set fire to the weeds and hope something better grew from it. Very muted, matter-of-fact tone, spoken in practically a whisper. Just no doubt, completely sure of what he was doing. Very fun to roleplay. Circe in my Greek mythology-based campaign, when the party refused a delicious dinner of boar that was once a man. Inside every person, there is a reasoning soul and an animal instinct. When these two come into conflict so often, it is the inner animal that rules humans. Do you know what the humans who've come to my island have done? What they planned to do? Stealing and ravaging and gluttoning themselves and rolling about in the filth like pigs. I'm not transforming them into anything they aren't. I'm simply revealing them for the beasts they truly are. Allow me to demonstrate. And then she tried to cast polymorph on one of the party members. Two PCs made a deal with a goddess without any info on her nor talking to her. A few sessions later, the first thing they ask is her domain. My domain? I have no domain, for I am death herself. Felt pretty badass.
You are all warriors. That much is already known to me. You have your duty to your lord, to traverse further beyond and claim the forbidden knowledge below. I recognize your plight, and I understand what you must do. But I have a duty to defend this passage. I have my mission to stop you here now. Let us carry out what has been ordered of us, adventurers.
Ancient Naga guarding the entrance to the tomb of the long-extinct Trireme elves. The best big bad evil guy opening line is one-shotting one of the PCs.
Bitch, I made your weapons.
Right before said weapons were used to whoop his ass. Haven't gotten to the campaign yet, but already know two of their monologues. The first big boss is a demon slayer that I'm going to start with.
There is profit in suffering, but there is righteousness in purity, and my silver shall purify this land of your deeds.
The real big bad evil guy is the overlord of a merchant empire, and is going to start with,
You are nothing more than the prophets of suffering. Every step that you take is an excuse to raise the land of whatever will fill your pockets with silver. Compared to you, I'm a fucking saint. You will burn in the righteous fires of your own making.
have yet to use it, but I've already written a villain inspired by MF Doom. Am defined by a curse, I am oversimplifying, that greatly reduces the length of his life. So, I hope to start the encounter with,
You know, living on borrowed time, the clock ticks faster.
Other than that, I base almost everything in my campaign on music of all genres. So I always have a soundtrack. Every city has its own distinctive genre, and every character its leitmotif. This means that I can make grand entrances for each of my villains with some really cool tracks. My favorite line, though it was a mini-boss,
I am merely the bridge from life to death. It was you who chose to cross me.
I love adventurers. They are all so predictable. Strahd von Zarvik.
Sorcerer casts a lightning bolt. The boss counterspells. Well, so much for pleasantries.
After a whole story arc or season of being within Mount Houghton now, the party was currently staying in a small dwarven camp. They were hunting fire salamanders for their scales, So the dwarven artificers could construct a boat that could withstand a river of flame. The fire salamanders were minions of a disfigured fire giant that controlled the territory near the fire river. And after many sessions, just after they had finished the boat, he assaulted the dwarven camp. As his minions burst through their defenses, the fire giant shouted from behind,
"Your time has come, dwarves. Long have I tolerated your pitiful gathering in my domain. You thought you could strike at my followers without retribution? I am your retribution now. Burn, burn and die."
And the fight began. A bit cheesy, but a good end villain is right. It is only polite that I introduce myself. I am Count Strahd von Zarovic, Lord of Barovia. Your introductions are not necessary. I know your names already, as a proper host should. Said to the bloodied and exhausted PCs after unleashing a small army of vampires on the main town. Hey everybody, Daddy Cheesemaster Vaughn here, back at it again to check in after the vid. Make sure to leave a like, to subscribe, and to ring that bell for further notifications on when we post or if we go live. To really catch us live though, check out our Twitch page, and make sure to submit a story to us if you'd like us to read anything out loud or in a video at r/MrRipper. And check out our sub-channel, also known as our sister channel, Riptovia, where we post a lot of the same but different content. Links are all in the description below. And if you'd like to check out me personally, Brian Von VA, do so on Twitch and YouTube. Links are in the description. As per usual, I try to end things on a positive note, or at least something a little bit happy and fun. Well, I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to get to know all of you listening here right now. Go into the comments below and leave me your cheesiest or best open lines for a boss, or even for a character. I want to know. I want to see what you guys and gals can come up with on the fly. Don't plan it out too far. Just think, if you were face to face with a final boss, or if a final boss was face to face with you, what would you or what would they say? I'm really curious, and I just want people to interact with each other, and with us too, because we love all of you, and we really, really do care. So, leave a little comment below, let us read some funnies, and maybe they'll make it into a stream or a video. You never know. All the love, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.